All right, are we on? Uncle Henry here.
Through the years, I've always had the ability to put people to sleep when they listen.
Uncle Henry Internet Show, thank you for looking in tonight.
I think I was born unusually and uncomfortably personal. We're sending nasty jokes to each other over.
My mother's not a beast, damn you!
We worship the youth of our country. What about the elderly?
All right, look, calm down, because this is Facebook. This is different from real TV. Hang up on this guy, you sick freak! Turn the volume down on this. I'm not ready for that kind of garbage. The graphics working. Would you stop it? You scumbag prick! Dadgummit, I wish I could just... All right, cut it out. Cut it out, please, stop. Please, stop, please, stop. Please, stop. Stop. Stop, please. You're cutting into the time of the show with this. Wait for me to do something. Welcome to the Uncle Henry Show, Friday nights with Uncle Henry, here on the internet. Tonight, an incredible night. We have as our guest, the legendary Bob Grip. It's here tonight. Also, our musical guests, if they show up. Andy McDonald and Amanda Donald are guests tonight providing music. Presented by Callahan's. And at Callahan's, Cold Beer, Hot Meat, Tasty Tunes, Seaman, Oakley. Also presented by Pickers Paradise in Stapleton, Alabama. If you're a picker, then it's your paradise. Tonight's show, an incredible, incredible show. The way we do these shows is with your support. We don't take advertising. We don't go out and sell the show. It's people watching the show that donate their own hard-earned cash to keep the show going. We'd like to thank the people that are supporting the show, associate executive producers. Those are the people that give the most money, and they include Uncle Doug Faust, Ben Griffin, Jeffrey Wimmer, Dan Thompson, Bamba Big Man, Mrs. Bamba Big Man, Snake Trapper, Bridget Jerkins of Royal Barbers, John Aiken, Dorothy Doc Clayton, Cheryl Gwynn, Frida Schnitzler, and Alan Cario. Yes, Johnny Gwynn?
I like them going in as a couple. See, they made the $50 by doing 25 together, and I did give that as it's a great,
That's wonderful.
Great strategy.
Y'all team up to give us more cash.
$50, that is
We
great.
like that. Also, Carmen Brown.
Yeah.
She's in the Alabama Broadcasting Hall of Fame and is giving back to people like me that'll never get in by donating cash. Thank you, Carmen Brown. Matt Big Head Green.
Yep.
Hank Eubanks, executive producer.
And Hank gets a asterisk because he was very generous.
Okay, thank you for being so generous, Hank. Feel free to come down here and watch, Hank. Wendy Lynn Norris, thank you. Aunt Karen Simmons, thank you. Tracy Moscalo. In fact, Tracy Moscalo sent us a note where she wants to let us know that she watches this show from her home near Huntsville. She's not from Mobile or the Gulf, but she enjoys this show on Facebook. Keep up the good work, she says. Tracy Moscalo, thank you for finding the show online.
Thank you, Tracy.
It's really weird for us to reel in somebody not from around here to watch this garbage. Thank you for your support. You can support us on PayPal, paypal.me, Deep Fried Live. Look for us there. Look for us on Venmo. Deep Fried Live is what you look for. Now, before we bring out Bob Grip and I have something in common in that we're older now. We've aged. We've grown old in mobile media. And there are things, before we get to that, maybe we have this in common as well. We might have this in common as well. I'd like to ask you, the people watching on the internet, to take the Pledge of Celibacy. The Uncle Henry Show Pledge of Celibacy. Now, don't boo celibacy. Take the Pledge of Celibacy. You're going to be better off, trust me on this. I haven't had any ill effects from my celibacy, and I've been celibate since Carter's been president. Here is the pledge. Please put your right hand over your heart and put your left hand as far away from your crotch as possible. Repeat after me. I, the Friday Night with Uncle Henry viewer, pledge to remain celibate for the duration of this show and for several minutes afterwards. So help me Lord. If I slip up during the show, may my blanchial organs burn with the heat of a million suns. Please take that pledge. Take the Celibacy Pledge. And if you do take the pledge, type your name in Facebook or YouTube comments area with the hashtag #NoUncleHankyPanky. Please put that in there. Let's spread celibacy. There's so much hate being spread in our world. People are at each other's throats. Let's back off of each other with a celibacy pledge. All right, look, as I mentioned, Bob Grip and I have something in common, very little in common, but we do have this in common. We've both grown old enough to realize things are happening that we never imagined would happen. There are things we thought we'd never live to see. We'd never live to see these things. In fact, I put together a list of things I thought I'd never live to see. For example, I never thought I'd live to see an Alabama football coach better than Bear Bryant. Right, Bama, big man? I never thought I'd live to see thriving businesses in downtown Mobile. I never thought I'd live to see people watching pornography on their phone. In fact, I never thought I'd live to see people watching anything on a phone, especially this show. I never thought I'd live to see only 2 political parties, yet 37 genders. Never thought I'd live to see a Governor Meemaw. I never thought I'd live to see Mobile known for making airplanes, but city engineers can't change the light bulbs on the highways. I never thought I'd live to see Ann Street being semi-repaired. I never thought I'd live to see convenience store workers wanting patrons to wear a mask. Never thought I'd live to see the Muppet Show with a viewer warning. But Cardi B gets a Grammy. Never thought I'd live to see no Mobile politician going to jail in 10 years. Yet I still feel ripped off. I never thought I'd live to see AM radio still existing. And it's the only thing my bosses will put me on. By the way, you can hear me every weekday morning at 5 a.m. on News Radio 710 WNTM. I never thought I'd live to see Saraland and Chickasaw as hot real estate investments. Some people can't afford to live in Saraland. I never thought I'd live to see erectile dysfunction commercials on network primetime TV. Never thought I'd live to see the Admiral Sims statue taken down, but the Pine Brook deer still standing. Never thought I'd live to see Alabama considering legalizing dope, even if it's only in suppository form. I never thought I'd live to see Mardi Gras canceled and not one drunken Joe Cain reveler stormed City Hall. I never thought I'd live to see Mobile without a paper company smell. I never thought I'd live to see the press register replaced by a bar pamphlet. I never thought I'd live to see South Alabama's new first-class stadium. It's gorgeous. And Ladd Stadium is still standing. Never thought I'd live to see wars fought over dadgum chicken sandwiches. Never thought I'd live to see Hee Haw and Lawrence Welk no longer on television, but they remake MacGyver and that filthy Magnum PI. Never thought I'd live to have a full-time job at my deteriorating old age. I've still got a job, but Bob Grip can only get part-time work. He's pinch hitting. In fact, I never thought I'd live to see the legendary Bob Grip agreeing to be on my crappy internet show. Please welcome to the show, Bob Grip.
Thank you,
Bob, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's him. It's him. It's Bob Grip.
Legend.
I don't even know if I'm smart enough to talk to you.
I think so. We've aged.
All right, well, so you're saying that I've had the opportunity to grow a little bit.
You said that.
Okay, he didn't. All right, Bob Grip, look, first of all, it's disconcerting to see you without a tie.
It feels good, too, you know?
Oh, it does?
I almost burned all my ties, and then they asked me to come back once in a while, so.
All right, so no tie, and Bob is wearing, it's hard to see on our internet show, but he's wearing jeans.
Yeah.
I mean, do people recognize you when you're out with no tie and jeans?
Well, it makes it harder when I'm wearing a mask, but when I'm not wearing a mask, they still recognize me.
Now, Bob, your hair.
I still have it, right?
You do, which is one step above me. But has there been pressure from WALA to dye your hair?
No, not at all.
Have you felt personal pressure to dye your hair?
No, I haven't. Not at all.
Not at all.
No, because I think the station maybe thinks, hey, we have a new person on the air. He kind of looks like Bob Grip, but he doesn't.
Have you ever felt the urge to style it in an unusual way like Byron Day does?
No, I've never thought of that. I like the way he styles it, though. It's his style.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not even going to comment on that until Byron Day comes on this show. Now, Bob Grip, there's a lot of things I want to ask you about. We're going to go through some photographs here, but there's one thing I want to make sure we have time to have on the show. Mel Showers retired,
Right.
just like you have semi-retired, and you gave some remarks at a special luncheon for Mel Showers, and you told a story of working with Mel and covering a hurricane.
That's right.
Can you tell the story of covering a hurricane with Mel Showers?
It was probably 1975 when I first got into TV at WKRG. And I was a reporter and he was a reporter. And at the time, we only had, I think, one photographer. So we had to shoot for each other. And we were going down the Florida Panhandle, going toward Panama City to track the damage left over from a hurricane.
You and Mel Showers in a car together.
That's right.
All right, think about that, everybody. Bob Grip and Mel Showers are driving a car together into a hurricane. Please continue.
It's a book.
It sounds like a dream, doesn't it? I dreamed that Bob Grip and Mel Showers were driving down the road. Do you remember the car?
It was probably a Ford Pinto station wagon.
Okay.
It was the finest vehicle on the road.
Now it's more like a dream. All right,
Or a
so
nightmare.
Bob Grip and Mel Showers in a Ford Pinto station wagon.
And we're driving down the road, looking for trouble, as news people do. And all of a sudden, we come along a power line that had looped across the highway, and it came up so fast, neither one of us saw it until it hit the windshield.
Ooh.
And we were really lucky that it just bounced off the windshield. It didn't decapitate us.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, so what the relationship with Mel Showers? You were his boss once?
I was, for a period of time, yeah.
Tell us about what it's like to be the boss of Mel Showers.
He was so easy to work with. And he remained easy to work with for the rest of his time. I always enjoyed working with him, getting to know his family, and we just had a great relationship, whether we were working against each other or for the same purpose.
Now, would your coworkers at WLA, would they say that you were easy to work with like Mel?
I hope so. Better ask them.
Okay, all right. Well, I won't go into that direction of the program anymore. Now, Bob Grip, here, look at this young lady in this photograph. The lady on the left, the young lady, her expression, that's the expression that we had when we found out you agreed to do the show.
There's a good story behind this one. I was at the state capitol, and it was around the time of Governor Bentley's problem. You remember Governor Bentley?
The Love Gov, yes.
The Love Gov, that's right. And so I was just happened to be standing there, and Jim Ziegler, state auditor, was giving a tour to a group from Mobile, school children. And he had their attention until that girl saw me. And then everybody crowded around, and she had that great expression.
Now, I've often wondered what it would like. Sometimes I sit around and daydream what would it be like to be Bob Grip? To be that smart and to know words and stuff like that.
I use a lot of words.
But when I think of crowds assembling, I think of women over the age of 50. I've never thought of young people crowding you. Did you get crowded by youth on numerous occasions?
Well, I did a lot of work in high schools. I worked with the IQ program and visited every high school in Mobile County and I still do it, except for this last year, for about 30-something years. So I think I had a rapport with a lot of them.
Okay, all right. So the young love Bob. We've learned already. The young love Bob Grip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And hopefully the old do too.
I believe they do. We've got a bunch
them.
of old people in the audience. All your old friends. Now, why would you have this picture? Why would an Alabama loss? Why would you be smiling?
That was the first picture I got from Bob.
Why would you be smiling in front of an Alabama loss like this?
Well, if you see where that was taken during a visit to Boston College, where I graduated from.
Oh, you went to Boston College? I believe we have some Boston College pictures. Look at your hair there.
That's right.
How about that?
That's me.
You could be in a soap opera. That's a soap opera actor look there.
I was a DJ, and then that's actually a picture of me recently, in a picture of me that was on the wall at the Boston College Library.
This is also young Bob Grip.
Oh, that was my first job in radio, at WBIS Radio.
You know, it's funny. These pictures of an old radio studio look like a NASA control room. Looks like you're working for Elon Musk.
It looked like a museum. Yeah,
Yes,
I worked Sundays because that was the only day that nobody else wanted to work.
Now, this is a photograph of the cast, or I shouldn't say cast, the group of people working at WALA I don't know the year, but I recognize Nancy Pierce, Lance Crawford, Randy Titano, Ron Golick, Renee Dials, an incredible group of people there at WALA.
Yes, and we had fun.
John Ed Thompson is on the floor there.
We were posed and doing the usual traditional sort of serious
Dave
look.
Straker is there.
And then we just said, "Oh, we're tired of doing that." We all made faces and had a great time.
You're working in news, high pressure or fun? Back in the day,
A little of both, and I think that was one of the things that got me into it because it sounded like a lot of fun and they paid you for it.
Yeah.
So it's a good combination.
Now, did you? Was there ever a problem with a family and you're not there at dinner time?
Yes.
You're at the TV station for dinner and for bedtime, Bob Grip.
That's true. I was the breadwinner, so my wife was managing the fort at home, and I gave her all the credit. But unfortunately, because of my work day, that's where I had to be.
All right, so you were on from 10 to 10:30, and then after 10:30, did you go out carousing,
No.
different bars and things like that?
No. Nope.
No, you went right home.
At 10:30.
All right, now those are not the stories we heard about the people that worked before Bob at WALA, but we won't go into those stories, the Carlton Cordell years.
Ooh.
All right, no, there's not an ooh to that. I just remember, Dot Moore used to tell me stories. Mm-hmm. She never said anything about you, but she had stories about other people at WALA. What was it like working with Dot Moore?
I liked working with Dot Moore. She had more stories about the old days than you can imagine. And she was fascinating. All the people she recognized and knew, she was a lot of fun to work with.
She was. She was very kind to me. Now, we've got another picture of you. This is you where?
This is at the border of Iraq and Kuwait.
Now, why did they send you there?
I guess they didn't like me. No, it was actually, I was there to do a story on Alabama soldiers and Florida soldiers who were there.
That's a good reason.
And one day, Steve Baker, our photographer, we rented a car and went up to the border here. And we thought, let's see how far we can go. And at this time, Kuwait and Iraq really weren't getting along. So we came to this UN checkpost. And the fellow was very nice, and he invited us into like a lunch in a tent that they had. And there was some sort of animal on a spit covered with flies. And we just ate. Thanks. Appreciate it. Got to go. Made a U-turn and came back.
An animal on a spit with flies. Mm-hmm. You can find that just about every day out Lot Road.
Every 5 miles.
All right, well, by the way, have you ever been to the Mobile Flea Market?
No.
You know what?
I don't need fleas.
Come
Really.
on. Somebody, if anybody at WALA is watching, this will be a great feature. Just take a camera and go to the flea market with Bob Grip and just see what happens.
there you go.
Just see what happens. It's a culture clash.
Be different.
All right, now this is you, John Ed, Anissa Centers, and Don Halls.
That's right.
Now, do you consider this the dream team?
It was one of the dream teams. In fact, I texted with Anissa just this morning because I saw that Apple came out with a purple iPhone, and she was a big fan of Prince.
Okay.
So
All right.
I sent that to her, and she said, "You won't believe this, but I have a purple case on my iPhone." Well, I said, "Now you don't need the case. You can just pick up one of those."
Yes, Johnny Gwynn.
Now, Bob, you sent me some pictures, and I go find some pictures. Did you send me that one, or did I pick that one?
You picked that one.
Okay, in my brain, that's how I imagine the newscast always. That might be like the prime of my life, but that's what I imagine newscast being, that crew right
Okay, see, and I was thinking Bob sent us this picture because this has meaning.
there. No, that was just me.
That this was his dream team. And it was not your dream
Well, everybody
team.
meant a lot in that picture, so.
What is John Ed Thompson like off the air?
He is funny, he is relaxed, and I think he's enjoying life. I see him every once in a while for lunch.
Oh, really? Okay.
And we talk on the phone, so.
Yes, Johnny Gwynn.
Bob Grip, I'm pleading. Sorry, Bob Grip, I'm pleading to you now as a producer of the show. Would you, on our behalf, ask John Ed Thompson to come on the show?
No, wait, can we talk about, no, wait, let's talk about that off the air.
I'm getting it in now. 'Cause
Let's
I
talk
want
about
on
that off
public
the
record.
air.
Public record.
Let's talk about that off the air.
Okay. But we'd love to have Jet on the show.
Yes, John Ed Thompson, wonderful guy. I've had him on the show several times. Not this show. Now, Bob Grip, it occurs to me, you've been here for such a long career. Ever an itch to leave, to go to a bigger media market?
Well, I did scratch that itch once and went to Virginia Beach, and I was working at Channel 10 there, Wavy TV, and I worked there for 3 years, and then an opening came here at Channel 10, and I worked at Channel 5 before I left. So, people were scratching their head like, can he make this work coming back to the other station? And it apparently worked because I was there for like 34 years.
No kidding. In fact, when you retired, it was a sensation in the community. We have the graphic here of honoring a legend, Bob Grip's final newscast. All the honors that came your way. There was a proclamation making it Bob Grip Day.
That's true.
Is that something that you enjoyed going through, or was it kind of mildly annoying?
No, it was a wonderful honor.
Wonderful honor
I was
to
so
have
glad
Bob
they did
Grip
that.
Day. Which city council person spearheaded this effort?
I'm not sure which one did. to be
All right.
honest.
So whoever spearheaded the effort, he didn't remember.
I don't think they ever made
Do
that
it.
clear.
Well, just do it out of the goodness of your heart. You don't need recognition in an election year. So you had the proclamation.
Yep.
We thought of some other ways to celebrate and honor. Well, we think that you're somebody that should be celebrated and honored. So we've come up with some ways to celebrate and honor Bob Grip. Mm-hmm. A Bob Grip statue. We mocked this up.
Where's my saber?
We could put that somewhere that smart people are, and I don't know where that would be. You could tell us.
Library.
Okay, yeah, in front of a library somewhere. The Bob Grip drop. It'd be like the moon pie drop. We'd have you up there. It would be a Bob Grip moon pie. Mm-hmm. We'd do it on your birthday, and we would do it at 6 and 10 p.m.
6 and 10.
Well,
Like any good newsman.
well, except the news on Channel 10 isn't on at 6. So you'd have to do it 5 and 9 or
We're
10.
going historic.
But
Bob.
36
Okay.
years you did 6 and 10.
Well,
We also came up with the annual Grip Off Festival. The Bob Grip Grip Off.
Afraid
This
to
would
ask.
have strongest grip, longest grip, weakest grip, the sound-alike contest, the lip-alike contest, etc.
in fact, when I moved to Virginia, the general manager had us all to dinner, and it was an introductory thing, and said, we have a daughter, and said, well, what's her name? I said, Polly. And
Very good.
They all looked at each other, didn't know whether to laugh, or they thought, maybe he's serious. And then I laughed and told them the real story.
The gentle humor of Bob Grip. This is the kind of humor that is safe for all audiences that you could read in Reader's Digest.
True.
We also thought of the 21 remote click salute. Yearly on the official date of your retirement at 6 and 10 p.m. The 21 click salute with your remote. And also a downtown Mobile mural.
Ooh, I like that.
I knew that you would like it. This is something that we put together earlier with the Mount Rushmore of Mobile television news. We put this together last year when we had another guest on the show. Now, we would have Dot Moore on the Mount Rushmore.
Absolutely. Yep.
We'd have Mel Shower.
Sure.
We would also have somebody who's really working as hard as he can to get there, Darwin.
Oh, I like that picture. That's a good one.
And then we would have, of course, you there. The Mount Rushmore. And we would... And see, there it is as a mural in downtown Mobile. Isn't that wonderful?
That's a great idea.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
We need to have one of your viewers actually do that, with permission, of course.
Absolutely. I know a lot of graphic artists that could get to work on that.
Yep.
Now, coming up, we want to remind you, our musical guests, did they get here yet?
Yeah, they're here.
Andy McDonald and Amanda Donald are here as musical guests. Also, we're opening up,
It's fine.
and
Jeff Funk.
Jeff Funk
Yes.
is also going to perform.
Wait a minute. No way I fixed that.
The phone lines are open now. This is the phone number. Place your calls for Bob Grip and myself. And I want to let you know, we don't want to be embarrassed in front of Bob Grip, please, because he carries a lot of weight in this community. If he leaves here with a bad taste in his mouth, we're going to be left with Sock Cop and all the other iHeartRadio personalities as guests. We're not going to have a great rotation of guests if you embarrass me in front of Bob Grip. So the phone lines are open. Also, want to remind you, the musical guests are presented by Callahan's. Cold beer, hot meat, tasty tunes. See them in Oakley. Now, we've got a series of photographs of Bob Grip meeting with the great villains of history. Now, here you are with Walter Cronkite.
Right.
Now, this is Glenda Webb.
It is Glenda Webb, that's right.
Now, when was she here?
She worked with me at Channel 5. Long time ago in the late 1970s.
How about that? So Walter Cronkite, friendly, standoffish, what was he like?
He was gracious. And I know he probably, this was done in New York City in his studio, and I know he had to probably do it for a lot of anchors. But he was very gracious, even though we were told his back was hurting, he may not be able to do this for very long. But I mean, it was Walter Cronkite's show. I mean, everything was done with his approval. And we actually interviewed him for a long time about trends in local news.
Can you imagine being important enough that there's somebody to go tell others, hey, his back is hurting. He might not be able to talk to you for a long. Can you imagine that? Did you have anybody there at WALA that would do that
It's
for
called
you?
having people.
No.
Nobody. Okay.
We weren't
Yes,
the network.
Johnny?
Can you go back to that picture, please? We had a question from the audience.
Oh, really?
Bama Big Man wants to know, how old, Bob, were you in that photo?
Oh, maybe 25-ish.
25?
Love that haircut right over here.
Yep.
All right, quit heckling. Don't heckle Bob Grip.
So the young lady looks like she's got Princess Leia and Dorothy Hamill mixed together. Dorothy Hamill.
Dorothy
and
Hamill,
Princess
yeah.
Leia together.
Glenda was wonderful to work with.
Well, I'm going to guess most of the people, well, I shouldn't guess. We don't want to name names, but were most of the people pleasant to work with in your career?
Yes.
Without naming names, did you ever have anybody that was very difficult to work with that you were glad they left town?
No comment.
Okay. He's a gentleman.
He's a gentleman.
He's a gentleman.
Gentleman Bob.
That's one of the reasons we love Bob. So you met with Walter Cronkite, who had back problems.
Right.
This is you with Ed Bradley, one of the most popular in this part of the country because he used to go to Jazz Fest, very popular.
Yes.
Did he try to get you to smoke dope with him?
No, but in fact, He was smoking something while we were doing this, but it
Yes.
wasn't that. He used to smoke French cigarettes called Gaulois, and they were so loosely packed that the tobacco would fall out.
Wow.
Fun fact to know and tell.
It is a fun fact. All right, so.
And he was friends with Jimmy Buffett. So
Of-
that
yes.
was a good link.
Yes, yes, yes. Have you met Jimmy Buffett?
No, I saw his show here. I've always wanted to meet him, but I've never had the chance. So Jimmy Buffett, if you're watching, I'd really like to get together.
Yeah, and we'd like you in fact,
Yes.
we'd like you to meet Bob on this show.
Yeah. Or we can meet at Lulu's.
No, we can do it on this show. So there you are with Ed Bradley. Here you are with Dan Rather.
Dan Rather.
Dan Rather.
He was signing a copy of his first book.
And he
There it
signed
is.
it to Bob, for Bob. Now, Dan Rather, give us any indication of what he was like to sit there with.
He was the most gracious. He was very nice. He had just gotten word when we were doing this that he was about to be bumped up to take Walter Cronkite's place. So it was fun to sit there and he had just come back from Afghanistan where he was dressed in a turban and he was doing a
Right.
60 Minutes piece.
Very exciting to
Yep.
be in a turban. Now he was, well, it is. He put himself deliberately in a lot of dangerous situations like Afghanistan.
Right.
A lot of us remember him being jostled at political conventions and,
That's right.
and grabbed at political conventions.
Kenneth, what's the frequency? Remember that?
Yes, he was attacked. We don't want to get into that.
R.E.M. wrote a song about it.
Have you ever reported a story and been in danger?
Probably so. Where I thought I had somebody who was mentioned in the story try to follow me home after a newscast.
Of people following you home after a newscast. Not groupies,
No.
but people that wanted to intimidate you.
Right.
Do you remember the type of story you were doing?
It was political.
Oh, political. Wow.
Was it the politician or was it a follower of the politician?
It was a politician.
A politician followed you home?
Yes.
Dig deeper.
How long ago? Thank you. Thank you.
Probing questions, please.
So, has it been long enough that we could say or not?
No.
Hey, I understand. There's a lot of people that I never want to mention ever again. I just don't want. I learned lessons. I've learned lessons, and I don't mention these things. Did it work? Did you stop reporting on this
No.
politician?
Of course. Yes.
No. That's not what you do.
Let me ask you this. They wanted a probing question. Did the politician end up going to jail?
No.
Oh, so they're still on the loose.
I wouldn't say that, but
All right. Now, this is you. Where are you here?
this was at the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, Russia, with
Yes,
my
indeed.
lovely wife.
Yes, your lovely wife. By the way,
Is that actual gold on those?
Yes.
yeah, and there's a lot of us, of course, in the community express condolences to you for that loss, terrible
Yes.
loss for you. Of all of your travels with her, a favorite location?
There were so many of them. Singapore was one. That's where that picture was taken, in their public gardens there. It's a beautiful place. But also New Zealand and Australia.
And when people see you, they automatically know you're an American, right? Just because of the way you look.
You mean that hat?
Well, just you. I mean, right?
Well, I've actually been recognized by viewers in Christchurch, New Zealand, in Rome, and in Dublin.
So you can't go to
Anywhere.
Rome without being recognized.
That's right. There were some students from St. Paul's getting off a train.
I'll tell you
Teenagers.
what, that is different from being recognized in the Publix. When you go to Dublin, and there's Bob Grip.
Yep.
How about that?
true.
Have you ever had a moment where you've had your ego get big from all that?
I hope not.
Hey,
Because
what-
it comes with part of
great
the, it's part of the territory. If nobody recognized you, then nobody's watching you. And that would be really bad for your future in the business.
It would be, and it has been. We have more to show you. Is this the family?
This is one of the families that is here
One
tonight.
of them, okay.
They're here tonight.
And that's,
Oh, this is one of Bob's families.
these are,
Do you have a Baldwin County family and a Mobile County family?
they don't know about each other though, so
Oh, they do.
they don't know about each other.
Okay. All right. Well, family, that's the biggest sign of success, in my opinion, is family.
Family and friends, right?
And you've been working with the high IQ program, quizzing children.
Yes, in high school.
Should we be worried about the generations coming after us, Bob?
The ones I deal with who are academic champions are so incredibly bright. They will just blow you away. They, for example, they do math questions at the end of a match. They give them 60 seconds. And I had one student, I think he was from Davidson, who answered the math question in 3 seconds. And he didn't even look at the question that they're giving. He just listened to me and then figured it out in his head and buzzed. I think he went to MIT.
Wow. How many years have you done these quizzes with the young people?
It's more than 30.
More than 30 years. In all those 30 years, did you ever have a contestant from Wilmer?
Maybe if they went to Mary G. Montgomery.
Okay, all right. So you may have had Wilmerians, Fairview kids. Anybody can learn.
That's right.
Anybody can learn. All right. We're going to be going to the telephones here in a moment for Bob Grip on the program. Phone lines are open. There is the number. Please place your calls. If you have questions or maybe you want to praise Bob Grip or ask a better probing question, please call in. There's the number.
Why did you put it as bowl, I wonder, at the end?
I didn't do the phone number. I didn't pick this. I didn't pick this. I've tried, in my career, Bob, I've tried to set it up so that I get to walk into places and just turn on microphones and not handle all the details. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, did you write all your newscasts?
If I wrote a lot of it, and if I didn't have a chance to write it, I heavily edited it.
Okay. Did you notice the grammar getting worse as the years went by from your producers?
I have no comment.
All right. He's a gentleman. That's the phone number. The phone call segment is brought to you by the Container Yard. That's where we are right now. Yeah. The Container Yard.
It's the old American Red Cross building.
Yes, the old Red Cross building, downtown office space and co-working starting at $3.99 a day. Everybody that comes in here is impressed by it. This is where creativity and commerce meets. Yes. ContainerYardWorks.com. They do have an office open now. Two offices open now. That is very rare to have offices open, but they have them open now. ContainerYardWorks.com. So there is the phone number. We are going to go to the phones. So do we have any telephone calls set up yet for me and Bob? Yes. All right, let's go to the phones. Hello, caller. You're on with Bob Grip. Hello, caller.
Hey, Uncle Henry, how you doing? Snake Trapper here.
Hey,
Grip, how you doing?
This
All right,
is the
fine,
Snake
thank you.
Trapper. Snake Trapper, say hello to Bob Grip.
Hello, Mr. Bob Grip. Listen, man, I want to tell you something. One of the worst whippings I ever suffered in my life was from my sister, because she is a big Bob Grip fan and always have been. And one day she taught me talking bad about you like I do Michael Bauer. So she put a whipping on me and told me that if I ever see or talk to you again, to let you know that you were one of the greatest reporters that ever lived. So that will save me from ever getting another whooping now, Mr. Bob Grip.
All right, well, thank you.
I completed my task.
Thank you very much.
So somebody physically attacked you because you insulted Bob Grip behind his back.
Yes, sir. It was my sister.
All right. That's good. People are defending you, Bob.
That's right. I like that.
All right, Snake Trapper, anything else for Bob?
No, I just wanted to let my sister know that I did what I said I was going to do, and I won't ever get another one in with
Hang
the
up
summer
on
off,
him.
man.
Hang up on him. Thank you, Snake Trapper. Do we have any other callers for Bob Grip? Yes. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yes, you're on with Bob
Hey,
Grip.
what's going on there, Roger? Hey, what's happening? It's me, your old pal, Sock Cop.
Sock Cop.
Oh, hey, how you doing? One of my coworkers, former coworkers.
Oh man, it's good to talk to you. We sure do miss you on the TVs and stuff, Bob Grip. I just had a question real quick because I've seen the news once or twice, and you got to read about all the the murderings and all the political corruptions and things like that. What would you do when you went home to relax and kind of get all that off your mind?
Good question, Sock Cop.
Sometimes I would go home and shut off the TV, and but sometimes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And sometimes I would sit down with my wife and watch like House Hunters International, which is about as far away from reality as we could get. And we enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, that's a fantastic. That's that show where they're like, I breed lizards for a living, and my husband paints tin cans, and our budget is $4 million.
That's it, or maybe 5.
Oh yeah, I love that show. Yeah, I was, because I figure some people, go home and have them a drink or something like that. But I know you're above that, so I figured, you'd probably do something. Go home, read the Encyclopedia Britannica, or something like that, to kind of relax. So I just wanted to know.
That was only on weekends.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
have you ever, Bob Grip? Have you ever tasted wine?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
And beer too.
Okay. Well, just checking. I'm afraid to ask these questions. Sock Cop, anything else for Bob Grip?
No, nothing for Bob Grip. We missed you on the TV, and Uncle Henry, I heard what you said, and hurt my feelings a little bit, but that's okay. I forgive you. We're good friends.
What do you mean you heard what I said?
You said if
You
Bob-
said if the callers embarrass us, we're gonna have guests like Sock Cop, and we won't get Bob Grip no more.
You didn't say that.
Well, look, Sock Cop, we're always looking for a reason to bring you back.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that's fine. No, that's okay.
Is it okay for us to move on?
Yeah, no, you can go ahead. I'm done.
All right. Thank you, Sock Cop.
Sock Cop!
Do we have any other calls for Bob Grip? Yes. Let's go back to the phones. Hello, caller.
Roll Tide, Uncle Henry.
Roll, Tide, roll.
Bob, we appreciate watching you on the air all those years, and you were a class act. I did have a question for you, though.
Yes.
In the dressing room at WALA, was there ever any animosity that Dave Straker was known as a sex symbol compared to the others?
Wow, that's a tough question. I'd have to say no.
All right. Hang up on that guy. Hang up on him. Please don't use the S word when you call this show, all right? Well, I want elderly women to feel comfortable watching this show with their grandchildren. Do we have any other calls? Hello, caller.
John McNeil.
Hang up on this guy. Don't prank call the show when Bob is here. He brought smart people with him. Do we have any other calls? Let's go back to the phones. Hello, caller. Hello? Hello? All right, hang up.
Those underwater calls are tough.
All right, hang up on whoever that was.
I have a feeling that was one of those parents that they're trying to put their kid on that, always does those calls. That feels like.
All right, good. Do we have a real caller? All right, hello, caller. Oh, that's it?
That's it.
All right, good.
That used to happen to me when I was first in radio, working Sunday afternoons, and I'd say, okay, I'm opening the request lines. Nobody there.
Well, it happens to me on a daily basis. I go on the radio at 5 o'clock in the morning. Whoa. I have to call people and wake them up. Hello, caller.
Really?
Norman. Norman. Hey, Norman.
Yeah, how y'all doing? Look, I'm sorry I hadn't been able to watch the show, but I just want to tell Mr. Grip that I enjoyed watching him, years and years and years ago. Now, you started on Channel 5, didn't you?
That's right, 1975.
75, I remember that. You know what I remember about you? I remember after one of the Alabama National Championship games y'all played, we are the champions, and I remember you being on that broadcast.
Yep, I'm sure we did.
The highlight of his career.
Wonderful.
But it's a matter of which year, because there were so many years that you could
Isn't
play
that
that.
wonderful?
Well, there was a couple of them. But I remember, at one time, you had some pretty long hair.
Oh, yeah. Sure did. Down to my shoulders, practically.
Way back then. I mean, it was the 70s. But anyhow, well, I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed watching you. I think you've done a good job all these years. And thank you for coming on the Uncle Henry Show.
All right.
Roll Tide, Norman. Thank you, Norman.
Thank you, Norman. Thank you.
Thank you, Norman. Was there ever any pressure to get a perm?
No, I can say absolutely not. Although I did start to add some embellishments to the hair when we switched from NBC to Fox, because I knew that Fox put a premium on young viewers, and I thought, I'm not going to let hair color get in the way of my career. So,
would it make sense for me to get a darker wig?
no.
All right. Yes, Johnny?
On your morning show, there was a voicemail that I forgot to ask you, where the voicemail asked for you to ask Bob Grip tonight what color he used to dye his hair. Do you not remember that call?
No, I don't remember that.
Well, they did. Someone called in your radio show and said, please ask Bob Grip what color he used to dye his
All right,
hair.
what color did you use?
It was a kiwi.
Oh,
It was, that's a shoe polish.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you for that. We appreciate that very much. Do we have any other calls? We're almost out of time for calls. Andy McDonald has demanded that we get him on at a certain time.
Hi there.
Hello, you're on with Bob Grip.
Hi, I've met Bob Grip a time or two, and I was just wondering, I know he's a big fan of Bob Dylan,
right.
could you tell us which Dylan album is his favorite?
Blood on the Tracks.
there you go, yes.
What's on that?
A lot of great songs.
Like what?
And Blonde on Blonde. That's another good one.
What is it about Dylan that you like?
I think he's a great writer. And
Don't you want somebody to sing good, though? I know words are important, but...
Yeah, that's what my wife always said, too. But I just liked his style. He was completely different from everybody else.
Okay, well, lady, whoever you were, thank you for a weird question.
That's a good
Don't
question.
applaud
I
that.
like that.
All right, we have time for a couple more calls. Hello, caller.
Quite welcome.
Hello.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yes.
Yes.
It's Ron Reams calling.
Ron Reams.
Ron.
I just wanted to call because two of the people that I admire the most in the business that I was involved in for so long are together tonight. And I just want to let you know I've enjoyed working with both of you guys over the period of time from time to time. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to just call in and say hello, let you know I was watching, and I really appreciate what you've done, Bob. I would like to ask you, what made you decide you wanted to come back and work part-time?
The station asked me. So I really wasn't
That's good
anticipating
enough
it.
for you.
But sure, I can fill in every now and then.
Well, that's good, because it's a pleasure to see you back again.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron.
Hey,
All right.
hey, Ron, it's
Uncle
great
Henry,
to...
I'll talk to you later.
Hey, great to hear from you, Ron. Love hearing from you.
Thanks a lot. See ya.
Goodbye to Ron Reams. Ron Reams. All right, we're going to take one last call so we can get our musical guests on. Hello, caller.
Hey, this is Aunt Karen.
Aunt Karen. Hey, Aunt Karen.
Hey, I love Bob Grip, and Bob, I'd love to ask you a question. How do you keep your personal feelings out of the equation when you're reporting the news and you don't agree with it?
That's a good question because Bob Grip has a demeanor like Mr. Spock. He does. You're very much like Mr. Spock. How do you do that?
I'm there just to tell the story, and that's it. My opinion means nothing to anybody else, and I'm not trying to influence anybody. I'm just there to tell what happened, and that's that. I mean, there are editorial writers who want to do that, or you can tune to CNN and MSNBC and see it all intermingled, but that's not how I feel comfortable.
All right. And Karen, anything else?
No, I admire that so much. So thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you for your support of the show. Yes.
Can I plug? So that's Karen Simmons from the Cheers to Business podcast.
Cheers to Business podcast is a NAPPY nominee.
NAPPY nominated. So please vote Cheers to Business for Aunt Karen Simmons for NAPPY, please, for a podcast.
Yes.
All right, goodbye, y'all.
Goodbye. All right, well, we're out of time for the interview. Our musicians are demanding they want to be on.
I hear them tuning up, so I guess they are.
Bob Grip, it has been such an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for asking.
This time I'm sincere. Really, thank you so much. It is an honor to have you here, and you've contributed so much to the Gulf Coast, our history, our culture. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
There he goes. Bob Grip. There he goes, Bob Grip. Now we're going to be having our musicians come on to the program to perform for us tonight. We're going to be welcoming back to the program a man who has done so many great things for this show. Andy McDonald is with us. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
And you have brought Amanda Donald with you.
I have.
Applaud her, too.
Yeah.
Now, she's not in the shot. She's right off camera. And you brought a third shock surprise musician with you.
The secret weapon.
Jeff Funk.
Jeff, we call him Jeff Thunderlips Funk.
I remember him from radio.
Yes.
Before he left us and became happy. So tell us, as we're getting things set up, what are you going to perform for us tonight on the program?
Well, we've got an original piece that we're going to do called Caesar's Fountain. It's about, I grew up in the land of motorcycles and airplanes. My dad was a pilot, and so I grew up, I remember there was a time leaving a baseball game on the back of a motorcycle with a baseball bat and a glove to go to a piano recital where I made a fool out of myself by blowing a bubble in the middle of whatever piece I was playing. But but I grew up just in that world of daredevilism, I guess you'd say. And now I'm nothing like that. I'm afraid of heights.
Okay, all right. Well, that happens when people age. They learn to not like risk.
Yeah, that's right.
The older you get. All right. So we're still setting up our microphones to catch everything. Amanda Donald, where do we hear you? Are you in a band?
She's in Fat Man Squeeze with me.
She's in Fat Man Squeeze.
She is. She also plays with a lot of other people.
Now, Jeff, he's going to be your spokesperson? All right. So, and is Mr. Funk's microphone active?
Check this out. Is it?
It is. Okay. Hey,
sounds like it is.
So I know years ago you were playing with the Lizards.
I was playing with Flat Rock. We morphed into the Lizards, and then Deluxe Trio. Then I played with Andy, and then I played with Al McNabb, and just a lot of people.
You think we could ever get Al McNabb on this show?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Would love to have him on the show.
Yeah, we can do that. I've been playing with Al and Steve. I can never pronounce Steve's last name. Help me out here.
Which Steve?
Big Steve. Lanyap Steve.
Oh, Steve Santani.
Yeah, we have a group called the Black Lung Brotherhood. I know it sounds crazy, but it's pretty damn good.
Okay, all right. Great music scene in Mobile, isn't it, Andy?
Oh, I love it. I love the music scene in Mobile, and when you go and you play places like New York and New Orleans and certainly Nashville, you make less money than you do here. I mean, we're all a pretty tight-knit group. I hate to use the word incestuous, but we
Please
all,
don't. Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
But we all play with one another. Every band that Jeff mentioned, I've played with all of those guys too. Right. And Amanda's played with so many other people aside from us. So we're all connected in some way, you know.
All right, well, again, the musical presentation presented by Callahan's Cold Beer, Hot Meat, Tasty Tunes. See them in Oakley, and also Picker's Paradise in Stapleton, Alabama.
Let me say this.
Yes.
I used to work with Bob Grip.
Yeah.
Tell us about it quickly.
He was a consummate professional. I was always up in engineering, up in the dark cavern that was Master Control. But we would see Bob Grip come up there every now and again, or we'd see him when we went for lunch, you know. Lunch being 7 o'clock at night, you know.
Right.
But, yeah, we always loved having Bob Grip there. And I never knew a world at Channel 10 without Bob Grip. So I don't watch anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I do watch. I still watch Channel 10. But I talked to John Ed, and we're trying to get him on the program here. So.
Oh, great. All right, so are we set? Are the microphones working? Yes. All right, the sound man put his hands up like this. So is it, Dan, are we set to go? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Andy McDonald, Amanda, and Jeff Funk.
Yeah.
Orville lost the coin toss, but was the first to powered flight. When Wilbur crashed that airplane, and they stayed a couple nights, and mended up his vessel, and they threw him in the air. 120 feet was more than anyone would dare. 4 miles south from Kitty Hawk on a Carolina mountain. But 120 feet was not enough to jump over Caesar's fountain. So a man in Butte, Montana, who had failed at robbing banks, he was making extra money on 2 wheels and a tank, doing tricks and wheelies, and jumping everything he could. The local boys kept saying, man, this guy's getting good. Showing off was what he did for everyone that surrounds him. But it would take more than a hometown hero to jump over Caesar's fountain. So he made a little money, and they branded him his name. Some admired his bravery, others swore he'd gone insane. Jumping cars and buses on a Triumph or a Norton. The further he kept going, the closer death came courting. As he looked to the horizon, there was nothing left around him that he had not jumped a time or two, except for Caesar's fountain. No guts and there's no glory, and no drama, there's no story. Some are hoping that you make it, some are hoping that you fail. Tomorrow is a new year, let's shift it into high gear. Twist the grip, let her rip, feel the desert in your sail. 1, 2, 141 feet. That was more than Orville flew. And flying through the Vegas skies brings a different point of view. The Bonneville came purring. He gave it all that she could stand. It don't matter how you take off, boy, it just matters how you land. He touched the steps of heaven before the devil came and found him. And dragged him across the stones that paved the road to Caesar's fountain. Well, you win some and you lose some, but ain't nobody counting. Except the 40 bones and bruises that you broke at Caesar's fountain. Thank you.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Is there going to be another one?
There certainly can be.
Of course. All right, we're running long.
We'll do a little.
All right, so we are, even though we're running long, we had pledged never to run long again, but we're going to run long, of course, because we break our pledges, except for the Celibacy Pledge.
Well,
hold it in, Jeff.
Jeff, don't say that's hard. We're talking about a celibacy.
Hey, quit with the innuendo. Bob can pick up on the innuendo. Before you play, Jeff has worked with so many musicians across the Gulf Coast. Can you name your top 3 favorite to work with? Not necessarily the best, but your favorite to play with. Top 3.
Man.
3? Come on, Jeff. You've worked with so many.
I would say Phil and Foster.
Phil and Foster, outstanding.
So our favorite.
Outstanding.
I would say, okay, this is going way back because I played with him for 35 years. Hank Becker.
Okay, of course.
And of course, Andy McDonald breathing new life into my playing every night.
Have you ever played with Poseidon's Tongue?
No.
Poseidon's Kiss.
Poseidon's Kiss. Yeah,
You have.
I am. Look, other day we played somewhere, and I live in Midtown. I was walking around Murphy High School.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And somebody come up to me and goes, "You look familiar." And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "What do you do?" I said, "Well, kind of retired, a musician." And they go like, Did you play with Poseidon's Kiss?
Wow.
Woo!
Poseidon's Kiss is pretty powerful.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
Bob Grip is recognized in Rome. Jeff is recognized at Murphy for Poseidon's Tongue.
And
Poseidon's Kiss.
Poseidon's Kiss.
And will you say
Rob Holbert's in that.
Yes, of course.
Rob Holbert, yeah.
All right. Well, we've run way late. What are you going to play for us?
We'll just do a little going down this road feeling bad in G. All right, everybody gets to take a couple of shots at it. Well, I'm going down this road feeling bad. I'm going down this road feeling bad. I'm going down this road feeling bad. Oh, Lord, ain't gonna be treated this way. Come on, Jeff. Beans. Don't encourage him. They feed me on cornbread and beans. They feed me on cornbread, beans, Lord, Lord. I ain't gonna be treated this way. Well, I'm going down this road feeling bad. Lord, I'm going down this road feeling bad. I'm going down this road feeling bad. Lord, ain't gonna be treated this way. $2 shoes don't fit my feet. Them $2 shoes don't fit my feet. $2 shoes don't fit my feet, Lord, Lord. And I ain't gonna be treated this way. I'm going down this road feeling bad. Going down this road feeling bad. Going down this road feeling bad, oh Lord. I ain't gonna be treated this way. I'm going where the weather suits my clothes. I'm going where the weather suits my clothes. I'm going where the weather suits my clothes, Lord, Lord. Ain't gonna be treated this way. Sing it, ladies. Going down this road feeling bad. Lord, I'm going down this road feeling bad. I'm going down this road feeling bad, oh Lord. Ain't gonna be treated this way. Come on, thunder lips. Somebody sing, I'm going down this road feeling bad. I'm going down this road feeling bad. I'm going down this road feeling bad. Ain't gonna be treated this way. No, I ain't gonna be treated this way.
Wow.
Thank you so much for having us.
Fantastic. All right, we're about to go. Real quick, where are the next places you're going to be performing?
I
the
don't
three
even
of you?
know.
You don't know where you're going to be?
I don't know. No.
Amanda, do you know where you're going to be?
I'll be at the Cigar Lounge tomorrow in Daphne.
Oh, wow.
Okay, tomorrow,
Who you
Cigar
playing with
Lounge
tomorrow?
in Daphne.
Walking Iris.
Walking Iris at the Cigar Lounge tomorrow.
Very good.
That band smells a lot better than Fat Man Squeeze does.
I bet they do. Jeff, what about you?
May 7th, Blues Tavern for the early show.
May 7th, Blues Tavern.
With Al McNabb.
And
Okay.
we'll get Al on. Al will do it.
All right, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, we are out of time. Thank the three of you. Love having you here. And of course, thanks to Bob Grip. Andy McDonald, Amanda Donald, Jeff Funk, thank you. Bob Grip, thank you.
Yeah!
Let's go ahead and end the show. End the show. Please donate to the show as we end the show. Goodbye. Turn it off. Don't make me get up and walk off. Is it over? End it while I'm sitting here. Just end it. Turn it off. All right, we're done. Thank you for watching. Dadgummit, I wish I could just...